Good afternoon, not morning. It is almost 3 o'clock because we woke up and had to run a bunch of errands, return a bunch of things, head to Menards for maybe our 20th time in the last week, and buy a lot of odds and end pieces that we were still missing. Today's projects are going to be just that, odds and ends. We're going to finish up window trimming, we're going to finish up the waterproofing for the shower, put up those plastics panels, and maybe do some cabinetry, we'll see. Our cooler came in today, so that'll be fun to fit in size. Yeah, so stay tuned to see a bunch of little different projects happen today. It's a cooler.
But it's a fridge though.
What is it?
It's a refrigerator.
No, it's a cooler. It says literally E-Kooler.
But it's a refrigerator.
It's a cooler.
So what I'm telling you is that it's a refrigerator.
But it's a cooler.
But it does say on the top,
E-Kooler.
electricity's never been this cool. No, but for real, it's a fridge though.
Where'd you get it from?
Oh, we got this from Costco. Thanks, Zach.
Woo!
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Look at this fridge. Oh, room we got.
Wow, that's huge.
That goes way back down in there. That's awesome.
That's a big cooler.
Yeah, dude. This is great.
And it's 12 volts.
12 volt and 110.
Amazing.
Either. Okay, so what we're using to line our showers is this product called Plastex, P-L-A-S-T-E-X. Basically, you build a normal plywood box out of 2x2s, and then we just use 1/4-inch plywood for all the outside stuff. And then you take this really thin Plastex material.
I think it's like 1/16.
Yeah, it's like a couple of pieces of construction paper stuck together. That's how thin it is. And you take this stuff and you just glue up the entirety of the side. Just the whole side of that thing is just one thick thing of caulked up glue.
Loctite specifically for FRP, the type of material that we use for the plastics.
Oh,
That's
so the
basically
plastics
what
is
plastics
FRP.
is made out of, FRP.
So to do our whole shower, it'll take about 4 of these is what we're using. It's this tub surround PL550. It'll take about 4 of them to do all of the back, all of the sides, all the other side. But we already have one piece on it. It only took maybe 10 minutes to actually adhere it. But cutting it, you got to be really careful in the van because there's so many different angles and so many weird things. But once you get the cut right and you get the glue nice and evenly applied on the surface, it's actually pretty easy to get it stuck on there. It sticks very quickly.
I'm demonstrating.
Oh, okay, that's a demonstration, yep. Cut and put on.
Cut and paste.
Thank you, sign language interpreter Lisa.
We are just rubbing the sides of this plastics that we just covered with Loctite and hoping it stays put.
Oh yeah, that ain't going nowhere.
We just finished putting on both shower boards, and then we're going to wait for it to dry, measure out the back wall and the ceiling, and then seam them together. Right now they are being held by some clamps and some pieces of wood to get the bottoms to fit nicely, but as you can tell, it goes on really nicely and it's pretty thin. You can barely even tell.
This is for the very back of the shower going all the way up the back.
Hi. So the shower turned out to be a lot more complicated and complex than we anticipated, much like a lot of this build. And it required all 4 of us being available, all hands on deck, to be able to make sure that the seams fit nicely and that the little trim pieces right here didn't slide off of the actual plastex board as we were fitting it to the wall. I felt like I had to work really quickly to make sure that the Loctite that I was using as an adhesive was sticking onto the wall, covering all parts of the wall, but also not drying, so I had to work pretty quickly. Luckily it worked out and I think it looks really good. As you can see, we used 2 of these little trim pieces, one on this edge and another right here, and then one other trim piece at the ceiling. And so our plan is to caulk up the sides that are a little bit empty or a little bit not quite flush, include a board right at the top here for some additional structure along the top, and then nail some wire from here to here so we can string our shower curtain on. Altogether, it looks really great though. I think it looks really seamless. Instead of creating an extra seam right here, we were able to cut one entire piece and curve it to that corner of the wall. So we didn't have to worry about another trim and a cut there.
Now we're putting on the window trim to just give it a nice finished look.
It looks homey.
Yeah, it looks really good. So all you gotta do is you just put them up. He had to cut them really specific, basically 45-degree angle here, 45-degree angle here, and then they just fit together like puzzle pieces. Now we gotta nail them together.
Sweet.
Once you get all the sizes just right.
Let's see how this one's gonna look. That's what's great about this stuff is it's you can just nail it up. How's that looking? But I'm trying to get this edge right. Then I move it back. Okay. I need to nail this.
So right now, Josh is trying to cut through our countertop. This is the thick countertop that we bought from Habitat for Humanity for $20. And we fit it so that way, hopefully it can cover the countertops for the kitchen cabinets, as well as the other side, the workstation that we have on the other side of the kitchen. So he is using his circ saw right now to cut straight through.
Nothing really makes a van feel a little more done and a little closer to being a home, like finally getting the kitchen inside of it along with everything else. Lisa, what do you think about it?
Hi. It looks great.
I think so too.
I can't wait to start cooking in here.
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be a countertop going here that we have started cutting in the garage, but right now we're just kind of test fitting it in here, making sure everything fits in there, and just kind of getting a feel for how the space is going to be, how tight our walkway is going to be, which is a little tight but not too bad. And then also just making sure that we get these wires run that need to be run all the way down to here for the control panel that's going to be right here. This is where most of our lights are going to turn on. All of the battery monitoring is going to be here. Yeah, this is just going to be like the main control panel for when you walk into the van of turning all this stuff on. And meanwhile, Lisa is working on...
I am putting contact paper on the side of this cabinet, mostly because it's laminate. I tried using sandpaper on it to get the laminate off and then painting it. Didn't look so good. So I am going to use wallpaper on that side, dry erase wallpaper. And then since this side isn't really going to be seen because it's blocked by the bench, I decided to buy some contact paper that I'll use here. And then maybe for the liners of the shelves.
So just like every other day in here, it starts out clean and then slowly turns into a total disaster of a construction zone. And then at the end of the day, we just clean the whole thing up again. We're starting to really get into the groove of that. That's just how it feels every single day. We get up early and we just like totally trash the place, put in a bunch of new things, add a couple new features, and then clean it up at the end of the day. You never really understand how much work you've put in during the day until the end of it after you've cleaned up and you're like, whoa, lots has changed. A great example of that is right out here. I threw some white paint on the back door so it matches the rest of the interior, and I think it makes the place look a lot bigger. Let me show you. So now the back is all white and matches the rest of the van, and it just kind of makes the whole thing feel a little bigger and just, I don't know, it made the whole color scheme a lot more consistent. So I'm going to do the same to this passenger door as well as to some of these areas around you can see that just aren't the right color for the rest of the van. Okay, back to work. We have a home.
Yeah, we do.
That's pretty cool. We got a kitchen back there that just needs a countertop. We got the fridge right over there. That's
a
in.
Workstation with a countertop
Look at
too.
that thing. Look at that thing. We got lights in here.
Shelving units, cabinets, windows.
Today was a really big day. we're starting to really put stuff together. I know we say this like every single time. It's starting to feel more like a home, but today was really
Like actually.
yeah. We're starting to put in the fun stuff, the pretty stuff, the things that make it feel, I don't know,
Like
right.
we designed this
Right,
for
right.
ourselves. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's looking really good.
We started putting like the finishing touches on a lot of things.
Yeah, we got the shower wall up, which means that we can start putting in the faucet and the shower head.
Yeah.
We cut the countertops to size, and luckily the $20 countertop that we paid for at Habitat Humanity fits both the workstation and the kitchen cabinets, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything's like starting to come together, which is really cool, and I love that we're using every bit that we bought.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah. Basically no extra wood. We have like 2 extra 2x2s. And that's it. And everything else has been used.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to use more for little things like shelves or, I don't know, decorative pieces.
It's pretty dark out. It's
Yes.
like 9:30 or something. We worked pretty extra late today. It's very, very dark outside. So I think it's time to call it for the night. See you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Stay tuned. You want me to leave you alone?
Full shower, it'll take about four full. It'll take about 4 full caulk gun things.
Loctite. Here, let me show you.
And that's what you do. You fill that with the putty. The putty master.
That's
me.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay. To work on a way longer and a little bit. Used a little. I can't think of a little top.
We got a lot of little projects done today, but
You stole my line.
but they didn't feel so little.